What is art? Art is the expressions or applications of human creative skill and imaginations, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpture, realism or abstract, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Art is a various branches of creative activities such as painting, music, literature, and dance. Art could be as simple as a sketches or as complicated as a multicolored painting. Art can be found everywhere in the nature, where river flowing gently, or in a secret fairy tale like garden, or in a city where it was crowded with people of various lifestyle and buildings. Art can be created from our happiest memories or from our tragic and sad past. Art let us create beautiful, meaningful, and unique things. That's why today we are going to learn and understand one of the known art pieces in the world, Guernica. Guernica could be referred to two different things. The first one is that Guernica is referred to a town in the province of Biscay in the autonomous community of the Biscay country in Spain. Secondly, Guernica could also be referred to Pablo Picasso's 3.5 meters tall and 7.8 meters wide mural-sized canvas painted in oil painting that was named after said town. Guernica has gained a monumental status, and it's become a perpetual reminder of the tragedies of war, an anti-war symbol, an embodiment of peace. So what is the story behind the making of Guernica, the painting?
During the Spanish Civil War, Guernica became a target because it was regarded as the northern bastion of the Republican resistance movement and the epicenter of Basque culture. At 16:30 on Monday, 26 April 1937, warplanes of the German Condor Legions, commanded by Colonel Wolfram von Richthofen, bombed Guernica for about 2 hours. Germany, at this time led by Hitler, had lent material support to the nationalists and were using this war as an opportunity to test out new weapons and tactics. The war was so intense, gruesome, and devastating. Hence, when Picasso learned about this, he painted a masterpiece that showed the tragedy of war and the suffering it inflicted upon individuals, particularly innocent civilians.
The theme of Guernica is about war, the awareness of pain, suffering, and trauma brought by the war. The nightmarish figures and dismembered bodies fill the picture. Guernica is a combination of cubism structure with a monochrome palette which render the painting more realistic. It is, however, the surrealism image that creates the shocking representations of suffering and war. One of the subjects that was painted on the mural is the light bulb. The light bulb is located at the upper center, that slightly leaned toward the left side of the mural. Picasso does not illustrate the bombing in a realistic manner, and there aren't any bombs depicted in this piece. Instead, he used a light bulb surrounded by a glowing halo of luminous spikes. This symbolizes the flame that tore apart the sky during the bombing. The horse was directly below the light bulb. The animal has been disassembled.
by an arrow and is howling in pain. This is emblematic of the suffering inflicted on the Spanish people by the dictators and the German bombers. Picasso additionally includes a subliminal skull formed by the horse, nose, and teeth. Next is the bull. The human-eyed bull invokes the fight between man and beast. It symbolizes the incarnations of Spanish nationalists and totalitarian regimes in this animal. The dove is located in between the bull and the horse. It is hardly visible and looks as though it has been rubbed out. This erasure is the symbolic of the piece that has disappeared in Guernica during the war. There are 3 women that was painted on the mural. The first one is located on the left side of the mural, with her head and eyes rolled back. The woman holds her dead baby whilst helplessly reaching out toward the sky. The second one is a reminiscence of portrait of Dora Maar, which Picasso nicknamed the woman who cried. The woman is located on the far right side of the mural. The woman was shown to be raising her arms and her mouth was frozen in mid-scream. Lastly, the third woman is shown surrounded by flame, which are symbolized by the tips of triangle which allude the explosions caused by the bombs. The last subject that was shown on the mural is a man with a sword. He is the only man and the only figure lying down in the painting. He has been dismembered yet still holds his broken sword, which is emblematic of his heroic yet futile attempt to fight against the terror. A ghostly flower grows by the fighter's hand, signifying the hope despite the bloodshed, much like the shrouded light provided by the woman's kerosene lamp. Guernica is a painting with deep meaning that's a bit hard to understand directly. That's why let me tell you a story that reflected the meaning of this painting. The story starts with a young boy whose name was Vanitas. The young boy lived in a city named Guernica and Its Reflection. He had a happy life that was filled with memories of his loving yet hard-working parents and a protective older brother. But all good things must come to an end. His wonderful life shattered like glass, breaking into pieces when soldiers from Vulture, a nearby country, started to attack his home, his people, his country, and started a devastating war. The news of their once peaceful country breaking into war causes the panic to set in. Peoples were in distress, not knowing what to do, where to go, and what was going to happen to them, to their loved one, and to their beloved country. As chaos continued to spread like wildfire, young Vanitas stands on the side, watching yet not truly understanding what was truly happening to him and his family. He looked at his parents, wondering why their face was as white as papers, hand trembling, eyes so wide and wet with unshed tears, as they continued to pack clothes and everyday necessities. Vanitas continued to watch in silence. Once his parents finished, the older brother turned to hug their mother, muttering soft reassurement words to comfort her as their father held him firmly by the shoulder. With a soft smile, the father said to him, "My son, you, your brother, and mother are going on a vacation to your grandma's house, okay?" Vanitas was so confused. "Are you not coming with us, Daddy?" he asked. The father does not answer the questions. Instead, he silently hugged the young boy tightly, patting his head and repeatedly telling him how much he loved him, his brother and mother. The living room felt so tense, so silent, that the young boy could hear someone sobbing. In the end, Vanitas could do nothing as he returned the hug back, silently observing the situation within his father's protective comfort hug. But then, a loud boom echoed throughout the neighborhood. The sound was repeatedly banged. Barking of dogs and people screaming filled the once silent room. The room was heavy with intense sorrow, weariness, and hopelessness. Before he knew it, he was pulled away from his father's comfort hug and being rushed outside of their home. As his father pulled him away, he turned to see his home for one last time, thinking that his father would be standing outside of their home, smiling and waving as he watched them go. What he saw instead was different, very different from what he was imagining. There his father stood, tall and strong, face grim, guns in hand, and his back facing him. His father shot down the people who were running after us, painted the road with rich red. From then on, the young boy will forever be haunted by the terrifying scream of fears and pain that was accompanied by the sound of loud boom and the repeated fire of bang. He will continue to dream of the nightmarish figures, falling people that painted the floor with red and his father's back. That day, life was lost, a child's innocence was destroyed, and a loving family was broken. There is no right or wrong in war, only sorrow, fear, agony, and despair. For the soldiers and the people on both sides of war, the memory was too much for him to bear. Broken memories and tainted innocence, Vanitas detached himself from reality as he continued to watch the life crumble. His mind withered and his body decay right before his eye. But that is not the end of Vanitas' journey. With his mother's and brother's love and help, Vanitas continued to slowly but surely started to heal and rebuild himself. His life, pieces by pieces. Day changed month and month changed to years. The once young boy finally grew into a healthy and fine young man who want to change the world for the better. In the end, Vanitas learned a valuable lesson. He learned that we may not be able to change the past, but our future is not set in stone. As long as we walk on forward and stop letting our past define us, a better future will be promised at the end of the road that we have chosen to walk on.